Welcome back to another episode of the first stage map work. Today we're going to try to knock out the geography map of the main area the players are going to be in. So it's going to be kind of this. We're going to then do the civilization territory areas, so I can kind of mark that down to show them what they're looking at. And then we'll go from there. And I think I might actually start doing, maybe later today if I'm feeling up to it, the geography of each of the ages to kind of show how it changes as time goes on. I think that'd be kind of fun. Alright, so we're still good with our density. We've already done the main area here, so let's keep going. Like I said, we do the trees first. We're going to work on the main continent for the most part here, and then go from there. Also, before I forget, we also definitely want to enrich these islands with trees as we pass by them. And since we're also down here, let's finish this chunk. I did hit record, yeah, okay. Making sure. I get so sucked into this stuff that I will just start working on it like no other. Like I said, this is one of my favorite parts of D&D making is map making, and so I really like how this kind of comes out and adds a lot to it. Let's get our other islands done over here, because we want to give that kind of feel of very fertile land. Oops, let's not do that. There we go. And then let's also get this part. And then we can start working down here. If you go along the, as you go, it makes it a lot easier. I know that did not make sense. Let me rephrase that proper. If you start working on this stuff, like piece by piece or objective by objective, for example, like just doing all the trees in the 100% fertile area, get that done, it makes the work a little bit easier in my opinion. Also, I would love to be able to play music in the background, but unfortunately, due to copyright issues, and I think this channel has a good few copyright claims against it for playing like night music, I can't unfortunately play anything. So, while I want to, but it's just how it has to be, you know? We're going to really densify. At this point, lumber industry is not a big thing, so we're not going to have a ton around. Or we're not going to have a lot of cut down trees. So, density is definitely going to be a lot higher in these parts. But I think it'd be kind of cool to do each of the ages of the maps. And we'll kind of work on that today, like I said. Once we get this geography map done, we're going to get the nation forming map done, and then, same as the religion one, and work on that pretty much throughout the day. Hopefully I'll be able to get, because I'm going to eat here after this, and be able to hopefully finish the rest of this after that. Not after this video, but after we finish this geography section. Alright. Let's go back out to 100%. How we looking? So far, so good. Definitely is coming together. Let's get some of our cacti. We're gonna lessen the placement rate, lessen the density back down to 1, and we're gonna kind of just scatter them about. I'm just gonna, because this definitely, while it may still be a desert, it's definitely going to be a lot more plentiful because there's still going to be a lot of cacti in the area that will develop. Okay, so that's not. We have only one that's right around in the back here. And there's going to be some in there, and then we get them up here, and we see another desert that's kind of like going to be filled. Again, these are still nutrient-rich lands, so. And then also, let's get that paint color there, because for some reason, that didn't pop up. 128. No, let's that works a little bit better. There we go. Perfect. All right, back to symbols. Okay. So now that we have those areas done, we're going to start to use the same kind of trees, because again, teak trees being a lot more common at this point. We're going to drop their thing down to 1.75. Same here. We're going to keep the same scale of 25. Actually, we're going to go down to 20 to kind of symbolize the trees getting smaller. Let's come back and down into here, and then pretty much all of this area we're just going to start to still fill up. Very rich land in resources at this point, as you can kind of tell. Alright. A lot more of this land is still pretty covered in that 75%, so we're going to keep up that density coming down in here. Again, very, very wealthy areas at this point for resources, so we want to kind of show that, because again, there's going to be a lot of this land that hasn't been developed at this point, so we want to kind of keep that in mind as we're going through here. Alright, so here's this, and again, we'll keep shrinking the trees down, lowering the amount that there are as time goes on. Actually, hold up, because I don't want all that right next to the town. I want that to kind of come a little bit more. Wait, this is supposed to be a 20. What the fuck? Alright, well, we'll fix it from here on. That's fine. Let's get this corner. Okay, we'll get all the way up to here in these areas. And you can really see the color, so that's what matters. We'll put some down here, but we want to make sure to keep that village still very easily seen as we kind of go about these areas, which I think will add definitely a lot more exploration, a lot more options, a lot more opportunities for players, stuff like that. So, hopefully, this comes out alright. We're going to look at it here in a minute, because I do want to make sure that this looks good. It does concern me a little bit more when I see, when I'm doing trees, because you can really overdo your trees, in my opinion. If you're not careful, they will come out to look kind of funky, in a sense, and it kind of... Oops, no. Show you what I mean is, see, it kind of starts to really show more of a jungle-esque design to it. So that's what I'm trying to make sure we aren't too heavy into, is the idea. So, let's continue as we were. We're going to continue kind of bathing this area out. There's going to definitely be a couple around the village. And there we go, that section's done. Let's continue on. And we're going to change up the variety of tree as things kind of go on. A lot more of these trees will be growing towards the water areas where fertile land is. And at 75%, it kind of shows that teak trees start to have issues after that. Alright, also let's make sure we're hitting these areas while we're up here. Again, stop going to 25. You're supposed to be at 20 while I'm drawing. Thank you. Alright. But I think this does definitely give a very different portrayal of the world in comparison to like the other map. Because whereas the other map didn't have, in my opinion, nearly as dense of tree lines, this one is going to kind of show you what I mean. You can kind of see the trees are a little more sparsed out and a lot more variety at this point. So in this situation, we don't have nearly as much variety, which kind of makes sense. So we're going to come down in here, again, bringing in more of these thick tree lines. Really kind of trying to push that home, that these are going to be very well taken care of, or very fertile lands rather. You can kind of see as these things wrap pretty heavily around the world. Alright, we'll put a couple of in there, make it really feel like it's a dense jungle. And we can kind of see how that looks. Alright, let's get this corner up here. And there will be certain areas, of course, that are going to be a little bit more cleared out, so let's scroll down. But I do like how the density kind of adds to this. And the size of the tree definitely kind of gets applied a lot more in here, I think. Which was something I was a little bit worried about getting kind of lost in the translation here. Alright. Because I want this to feel very wild, very untamed. Is the idea. A lot more creatures are going to be running about. Civilization is just starting to get really a good grasp on the world, only having been around for so long, as I haven't decided how long the first age will actually go back. That will come towards more the end of the campaign, when depending on how I'm feeling with it. Alright, so we got a lot more trees in these areas, and you're starting to see that. Now we're going to start to switch over to more, these are massive things, yeah, look at that. Like, I'd have to shrink that down something fierce just for that. We wouldn't, yeah, we'd actually start to see a little bit more Douglas wood, because the stuff will grow a little bit better. And these trees, again, being a little bit more smaller, this being down to, like, around that area, there's going to be a good bit less. Because Douglases are going to grow a lot smaller in these non-fertile areas. Although we will probably bump this up to 20, because I want to be able to see what these trees look like. Maybe bump these up to 25. There we go. And with the sparing kind of thing, we can just kind of rub our brush around, getting some of them in there. And you can now start to see a little bit more variety, which I like the look of. It looks a little bit healthier when you throw in a few more trees that are kind of like the 50% areas. These are going to be the 25% areas, so we have another. We're going to put bushes more in there. These Douglases, though, you can kind of see don't look the healthiest. They're also going to kind of give a very different variation to the height, which adds a lot more depth, I think, into the map, especially when you're like comparing the fertility of areas and looking at it. You can kind of get a better idea of exactly what kind of trees these will be. I don't know yet what trees we'll name these. We'll come up with an idea later. Okay. But yeah, I think kind of adds to it. And we're only at 13 minutes. We actually might finish up the geography map today. Cool. Or in this video, which would be nice. Let's keep it going all around in these parts as well. Alright. Keep them kind of spread out a bit more. And then this area is just going to be massively covered by this. Because as you can see, we really didn't get a lot of, dead areas. We got some 25% over there, which is going to be where I'm going to avoid for now. But, it kind of works, in my opinion. As they kind of get, like, surrounded areas. Let's continue to keep these trees populated. Some are going to pop up on the mountains. Actually, no, I don't like that. So we're just going to focus on the areas that aren't too covered and kind of put some trees in there in these parts. Wherever a tree can grow. These little areas up here will be densely populated. Scrolling down, we can get these little areas done. But I think this is really making the map come to a bit more togetherness to it. Let's come back in here. Yeah, there we go. A bit more barren in certain parts. We're going to have a few more trees like scattered about. Perfecto. All right. And then for our last one, I am thinking, what are you? Oh, you're just normal trees now. I want like bushes. That'll work. Yeah, we'll keep it at that. We'll put this at 0.5, 0.5. And we're just going to kind of start to spread this out a bit more. You can't really see it too well. Maybe something like this. Oh. Nope, just went to do that. There we go. Not to paint the symbols, please. Thank you. Trees. All right, let's see. Yeah, that I like a bit more. Feels better, you know? Kind of looks like it's got like some shrubs in the area. Not very dense, but yeah, still definitely represents that less fertile area. Which I kind of like a bit more. We're a little crazy over there. We've definitely got some more of these around here. Let's pop. Oop. Well, that's fine. And then we'll populate up here a bit. As long as now I'm getting the mountains. These little bushes kind of represent the areas that very little fertility. You know, you'll get more berries, you'll get more like hardy plants, you know, kind of mentality. We'll probably put a little bit in here, some variation in here. And then there's not much else. So let's look at the map. Let's go to, let's say, 50%. Oh, wow. I like how that really sticks out. That's very vibrant this time around. I do kind of like it. The only thing I noticed right there is that little opacity mark. So let's come in here, go into my brush. We're going to zoom in to 100%. We're going to come down here. I'm going to, can I sample? Because I think that's supposed to be a 50%. Let's shrink that brush really far down. There we go. All right, perfecto. I'm liking this. I think this will be our geography map. Yeah. So let's save it. We'll export it. Oh, someone emailed me. Oh, okay. Export. We'll do a normal PNG. Yeah, PNG. And hit OK. And we're just going to save it to my D&D folder. We'll call this world map. And we've got this named as that, so we'll keep the same naming convention. Perfect. And hit save. All right. Let's also open, just because we can, this one. And we'll do the same point, exporting this as, let's see. Oh, there we go. First stage, 104. Nope. Yep, save. Perfecto. All right. So we'll use those for our two main ones for the day. And then on the next episode, we'll start working on the territories. So we'll see you there.